Surviving 100 hours in an ancient temple is not only a physical challenge, but also a journey of intellect and spirit. From the moment I stepped in, I felt the sacredness, both mysterious and challenging, as if every stone, every ray of sunlight passing through the old roof tiles contained a story echoing from ancient times. When the clock began to count down, I carefully and cautiously observed every detail of the temple. The moss-covered walls, the altar thick with the dust of time, the cold stone floor, and the faint scent of incense lingering in the air, all blended into a solemn symphony of silence and mystery. The space was devoid of any human sound, only the pounding of my heartbeat, the soft whistle of the wind through the window cracks, and occasionally the chirping of insects and the scurrying of small lizards. The first hour passed as I slowly explored the carved patterns on the wooden pillars, the winding dragon and phoenix shapes, the faded couplets, the statues of deities silently watching every step. I clearly felt the weight of history, as if not only I was standing here, but also countless generations before who had knelt, lit incense, and prayed. Sometimes that feeling sent chills down my spine, yet something urged me on, like an invitation to uncover the secrets of this place. Time passes slowly. I have to carefully calculate to maintain my strength and spirit. The food consists of only a few dry ration bars and a few small bottles of water I brought in. Fire is not allowed to be lit in this sacred place, so I take advantage of daylight to move around. And when night falls, I retreat to the main house with a roof, quietly resting. In the silent space, I use the time to read each ancient symbol drawn on the walls, solving puzzles passed down through generations. A bit of curiosity, a bit of mixed worry, drives me to keep exploring. By around the second day, that is more than 40 hours after entering the temple, hunger and thirst became more pronounced. I mentally calculated the remaining amount of water, planning each sip to be as economical as possible. Whenever I felt exhausted, I would go out to the small hall to take deep breaths and calmly look at the barren ancient garden, which still had a few patches of wild purple flowers. The tranquility of the temple made me realize that every tiny sound, from the startled birds in the canopy to the gentle flutter of butterfly wings, seemed like words of comfort, giving me strength to overcome the challenge. The darkness inside the temple was truly a great challenge for the mind. The faint sounds echoing through the empty corridors created images of ancient lingering souls, making it difficult at times to distinguish between reality and imagination. To maintain alertness and calm, I focused on my breath, silently reciting each ancient prayer inscribed on the walls, keeping my mind from wandering in the maze of imagination. As time goes by, I increasingly feel the power of will. The fatigue now is not only physical, but also a battle with loneliness and fear. The challenge lies in how to get through each cold night, each unusual sound, so that I am not defeated by my own negative thoughts. I seek inner silence, so that my mind becomes as clear as the surface of an autumn lake in the heart of an ancient temple. It is when facing the endless silence of the stone walls that I learn to talk to myself and hear my inner voice more clearly than ever before. In the following days, I tried to change my daily rhythm, exploring every corner of the temple. Occasionally, I discovered a secret room behind a carefully hidden folding screen, containing some ancient tools and decayed books, whose contents still reflected stories about the founding masters of the practice. I eagerly flipped through each page, trying to feel the warmth left by those from the past, like a peaceful message The challenge is not only to survive, but also to keep the soul from being enchanted or panicked by the darkness, memories, and mysterious oral stories about the temple. There were nights when I heard what sounded like bells ringing from somewhere, half asleep, half awake, in the cold late-night mist that made me shiver in my thin jacket. It was in those moments that I cherished the presence of the present even more, eagerly waiting for the morning sunlight to seep through, illuminating each stone step covered in green moss. The dawn of the last day has finally arrived, bringing warm rays of sunlight that gently bathe the ancient space in a soft golden hue. I realized that I have been inside this temple for almost an entire lifetime, a lifetime condensed into 100 hours of testing willpower, faith, and reverence for the past. The hardships of the past 4 days, from lonely nights, hunger pangs, to vague fears, have now become precious baggage that enriches the meaning of this survival journey. At the end of 100 hours, yes, I not only left that ancient temple with a tired body, but also carried with me profound lessons about patience, calmness in the face of adversity, and an endless reverence for history and spiritual values. It seemed that everything familiar outside moved more slowly, because within me there was now an invisible source of strength, reminding me that as long as one overcomes the fear inside, a person can discover the most wondrous things hidden behind each silent stone wall of time. That is a journey I will never forget. Surviving 100 hours in the ancient temple was not merely about existing, but about reaching the deepest layer of the soul, returning to oneself in the endless silence of history and the immortal values of humanity.